Aloha everybody, welcome to another edition of Sports People Hawaii. I'm Howard Deshefsky, and coming up on this next edition, you may remember her as a UH Wahine softball player, taking it deep at Rainbow Wahine Stadium. Well, now she's taking it much deeper, competing on the World Long Drive Championships. We'll check in with Jasmine Zamora. Also ahead, we check in with Team Lotus, the three-time national championship high school football team from Japan. They were recently here to compete in a scrimmage. And a lot of people are getting ready to start training for the Honolulu Marathon. But did you know when it comes to running, it's much more than just putting one foot in front of the other. We have these stories and much more coming your way here on Sports People Hawaii. But first, and as always, we get you started with another tip to help you get fit quick.
Get Fit Quick, brought to you by Jaco Rehabilitation.
Hey, this is Jaco from Jaco Rehab. Today we're talking about hiking injuries. Ankle injuries are one of the most common hiking injuries that we see in the clinic. This is Kat. This is my fellow therapist. She's going to show some exercises how to strengthen your ankles, strengthen the lower chain, and prevent those injuries, hopefully. So the first exercise she's going to show you is hanging off the outside of your foot off a step. So this is a balancing exercise. You got to make sure that you're safe, that you can hold on to something. So the outside of her foot is actually hanging off this step, and she's trying to keep her foot horizontal. So because most of the sprains happen on the outside, you want to really strengthen that outside leg. Now the second exercise is a controlled step down. Now, so when you're stepping down a rock or stepping down a step, you want to be able to do that controlled. So she's lowering very slowly to make sure that she can step down on her left ankle, left leg, and not sprain it. All right, now the third exercise is an exercise where you really engage your hips, your lower chain to get stronger, and then you gain more stability and coordination. She has a strap between her legs, so around her ankles, and she's going to step sideways very slow to really strengthen the outside hips. Now these exercises are very important to gain lower extremity strength. If you do these exercises every day, there's less of a chance that you see us in the clinic. I guarantee it.
5914777 5914777. Who's got the best deals in Vegas around? Who's got the best job? Call 5914777 today. Vacations Hawaii. Vacations Hawaii. Vacations Hawaii. Good luck, we go play. 5914777 today. Good luck, we go play.
Every story has a journey. Carried by the dancing wind, it is a soft explosion, echoing in the hearts of those that love. When open arms take flight, spread your love against the dark of night. Live for hope, long for passion. Live, love, 7 for life.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by 7-Eleven Hawaii, your neighborhood store.
Hey, welcome back everybody to Sports People Hawaii. If you're a University of Hawaii athletics fan, you may remember the name Jasmine Zamora. She was a star with the Wahine softball team, known for hitting it deep, hitting it hard. Well, now she's even hitting it deeper and harder, competing on the World Long Drive Championship circuit.
All right, do it.
Oh, that one was good.
You like that one?
I kind of did.
Oh, you like that one? Okay.
I mean, I hope it's over 3.
Turns out it was. According to the TrackMan, 306 yards to be exact. Translated into feet, let's just say it was enough to carry out of the Wahine softball stadium more than 3 times over.
With a range ball, it's not bad.
For Jasmine Zamora, stepping up and swinging hard is nothing new. Although she stands just 5 feet 3 inches tall, she was always fierce at the plate, leading the Wahine in hitting and earning first team All Big West honors as a junior in 2013. I mean, you're a home run hitter.
Yeah, for sure. It was a little different though, right? We're just, as long as I get it in between the foul line, that's all I needed to do. But I was definitely more of a hit for my average. I think that's why I'm pretty accurate here. But I try to put as much power as my size can do.
Put another way, with the driver, she's nearly coming out of her shoes. Even still, she equates it to her days playing for the Wahine, looking for that perfect pitch.
To be honest, last night I finally kind of figured out how my mentality is, and honestly every single ball I'm hitting is like, in my head all I'm thinking is a drop ball outside. That's literally what my mindset is. It isn't any golf technique at all. There's a drop ball low outside, and that's all you gotta do.
But more than anything, she simply loves to compete. In many ways, the long drive competition is just an extension of her career as a softball player, but with one big exception. Getting used to a sport that's so incredibly individual for somebody who always loved being part of a team.
I remember walking into the hotel and to my competition by myself, and it was just like, it's this feeling you don't understand. You feel kind of like lost. Like when you're with the team and you're walking onto the field with your team, when you're walking to the hotel with your team, the airport with your team, and now I'm by myself, it's like you miss them that much more.
The former scholarship athlete now pays her own way to events, coughing up a $500 entry fee and competing for a share of a $25,000 total purse. And with just a few events already under her belt, she's proven she can compete with the best of them.
Just because I'm confident, I want to work hard. Oh, I twisted way too much on that one. If I can compete with them at this level, with this much experience, then I'm super stoked for the future I have for this sport.
And if you think she has a bit of a chip on her shoulder, you're right. And the fact is, she needs it. Because while the other girls show up fully equipped and outfitted from head to toe, Jasmine simply shows up with a determination second to none.
When you go to our warm-up area, you see girls with just bags full of stuff, and here I am with a backpack and 2 clubs, and I mean, I enjoy packing light. It's easier for travel, right? It costs a lot of money for me to go up there, so.
No sponsors, no logos, just
No.
you, a couple of clubs, and some grit.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I enjoy being the underdog. I enjoy being the rookie. I enjoy being, you know, the only non-golfer there. You know, my whole thing is to just honestly motivate these young kids here that, you know, you don't have to have this background to still succeed in it. And, you know, I just kind of want to pave the way for them and just keep getting better. I don't go out there to lose, so.
And although she could also hit her irons pretty well, it's all about the big dog for Jasmine, who loves nothing more than to grip it and rip it.
Just like softball, right? Nobody gets excited to bunt. We all get excited to hit it over the fence, hit a line to the gaps and stuff. So it's just the adrenaline that happens. It's the same thing. It's just in my blood to do it. I don't know how to explain it. The amount of work that I've put in, whether it was this sport or softball or basketball or in school, you know, if you put in the work and you know that you're putting in the hours that other people aren't, you know you're waking up early when your competition isn't, it's, you know, it's hard not to be confident in yourself. And I think you need to have that edge to get you through certain tough times. I don't really doubt myself when I go up there. It's, when you're prepared, you're prepared. And I think that the confidence that comes with all the hard work, it gets me through a lot of tough times. I'm gonna win. Whether it be this year, the next year, I won't stop till I do.
You could hit it a mile, but what about the rest of your game?
I mean, practice makes perfect, so for the amount that I practice my other clubs, I hit them pretty well, seeing that I really only take them out if somebody invites me to go play or something.
We got to work to get that girl sponsored, and all the best to Jasmine as she continues to represent Hawaii. And stick around, everybody. When we come back, the three-time defending national championship football team from Japan.
Every story has a journey. Carried by the dancing wind, it is a soft explosion, echoing in the hearts of those that love. When open arms take flight, spread your love against the dark of night. Live for hope, long for passion. Live, love, 7 for life.
Aloha Hawaii, I'm Barbara DeLuca with the team at Island to Island High Living. If you're selling your home, we offer a 1% listing fee for full service. That's right, you give us 1% and we give you 100%. Our full services include professional photos, listing on the MLS and the international MLS, open house, and more. Remember, give us 1%, we give you 100%. Call us at 683-8244 or go to islandtoislandhighliving.com.
Brokered by Soldier to Soldier, Hawaii Realty.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by Vacations Hawaii and the newly renovated California Hotel.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. When you think about sports in Japan, high school football probably doesn't come to mind, but it's actually developing and becoming a much bigger sport there, and recently the best team in the land paid a visit to Hawaii. If you didn't know any better, you'd think this was a typical high school football game. And it is. It has all the looks of one, but get a little bit closer and listen to the head coach of the visiting team. Takashi Kobayashi is head coach for the Kosei Gakuen High School team in Tokyo. The Lotus have won Japan's high school national championship 3 years in a row, and they'll start the season with a 45-game winning streak, but not before a couple of recent scrimmages here.
It was a very good experience that to be able to play do football with other teams that we have never seen before.
The team traveled to Hawaii for a couple of controlled scrimmages, one against McKinley and this one against Pac-5.
Their mid-season form with everything in. We got 2 running plays in. So.
While the game they play is much the same, there are significant differences.
In most cases, Japanese high school students, they start football when they're high school. Compared to the United States, they use high school when they're really small. So the techniques and the understandings that football is much, much more deeper.
Another obvious difference is size.
First, the size is totally different compared to the line. The line is much more stronger and bigger. The difference what our team has is the technique and speed. And so there's totally kind of difference between the Lotus and the Pac-5. For size and for physical, they think that the American teams are pretty strong. As for our team, we're pretty confident in our skills in step work and technique, and that made us pretty confident while playing the game today.
But for whatever they lack in bulk, Team Lotus more than makes up for in other facets of the game. As you watch these guys, what are you learning? What are you trying to hope your guys are going to learn from them?
Well, we talked about that yesterday, about watching how they play, how disciplined they are, how they execute. To me, it's their execution that is outstanding. And that's what we can get from these guys is how they execute and how crisp, how they fly around, how crisp they are. And
the Japanese team have precision. They have, they practice until, they can't get it wrong. And that showed today. It's just a really different style of football, and it's really, really reminiscent of the 11 years that I played in Japan.
Another advantage for Team Lotus, while football is pretty much seasonal here, it's become a year-round sport for teams in Japan.
They got 2 seasons. They got a winter season and a spring season. So they're football pretty much all year round. So yeah, this is what you get. You get a lot of execution and not much mistakes. They're pretty much mistake-free. They're just a good football team.
And like the Wolfpack, Team Lotus is a good team looking to get better.
We learned a lot of techniques inside the base play, and there's a lot of techniques that we never thought about. He said it's a very, very good experience for them to be able to play with American high school football players, and there's a lot of things to learn for them. and it was a very great experience.
We're going to go and evaluate this, and we got so much coaching points that we can take off of this just going against these guys. So it's been a blessing for us.
One aspect of the game Coach Botello hopes his team will pick up on is the respect for the game shown by their opponents.
At our school, we have a slogan saying that for honesty and for respect for the game. And it's our everyday routine that we respect and, be honest to people, to adults, and listen to them. And we never thought this was something special because we were born and brought up with this kind of situation.
Botello says one thing you'll never see out of a Japanese team is mouthing off or unsportsmanlike play that we see all too often.
This is the kind of teams you want to play right now. The disciplined, well-coached teams, and none of this chirping, none of this mouthy stuff. It's just all hard-nosed football.
Doesn't happen in Japan. Yep, that's the way to do it. They really set an example for how it ought to be done.
And while the game is what brought these two teams together, it's the friendship and mutual respect that the coaches hope both teams will walk away with.
Not just for sports, no. There's a lot of techniques and other things that they want to understand and want to study again. And on the other hand, they want to be able to speak English much more better so that they can communicate and be able to exchange much more thoughts with other students.
But this is great. I wish we could do this more every year. I hope we can get together every year and start something, maybe a home and home. We'd love to go there. We're blessed to have this opportunity. We can only get better from it.
It'll be fun to watch Team Lotus as they go forward, kind of like the St. Louis High School of Hawaii. And I'm sure McKinley, Pac-5 will all be better for them as well. And stick around, everybody, when we come back, learning how to run all over again.
5914777. Shoot-a-wah. Who's got the best deals in Vegas around? Who's got the good job? Shoot-a-doo. Call 5914777 today. Vacations Hawaii. Vacations Hawaii. Vacations Hawaii. Good luck, we gon' play. 5914777 today. Good luck, we gon' play.
Welcome back, everybody. We're still here in summer, but a lot of people are already thinking ahead to the Honolulu Marathon. And as you get started with your running and your training, you might want to give a little bit more thought to exactly what is it that you're doing out there. Everywhere you look, you see them. From short to tall, fast to not so fast. They're out there, runners, especially here in Hawaii, day after day, putting one leg in front of the other. Most of them not even thinking twice about what they're doing, but perhaps they should be.
Hoping to see that I'm, I guess leaning forward when I'm running and doing it correctly, and then obviously get some pointers as well. Anything I can do to improve on that would be very helpful.
I think people have a perception of how they run that is actually really different than reality, and I was definitely one of those people.
Kim Burnett used to think she ran just fine until she blew up while running the Honolulu Marathon.
And it kind of all fell apart at mile 16, and I realized I needed to look into how I was running. I've run for about 10 years, and I've always just kind of run by feel, run fast, and there's a lot more to it than that.
Fact is, running isn't exactly the easiest or best thing for the human body, especially if you're doing it wrong. The new Jaco Run program being offered by Jaco Rehabilitation is designed to get runners to do it right.
We saw over the years, we saw a lot of people come in with all kinds of running injuries, and always are the same injuries like plantar fasciitis, IT band syndrome, runner's knee, hip pain, and we started developing this program about 2 years ago to make sure that runners understand how these injuries are happening.
Jaco says the bulk of the injuries he sees and treats are the result of biomechanics or running efficiencies that cause injury.
So what we started to do is videotape the runner from 5 different angles, and we use a computerized analytical program to kind of draw in the angles, so to really look at the joints, what the joints are doing when there's a force applied from the runner itself, but also from the ground force that comes the other way.
He says when the force from the runner and the ground come together from 2 different angles, it's a sign that injury isn't far behind.
If you have some inefficiencies or imbalances, the joint actually, there's some abnormal motion in the joint. And if you do that over and over again, you actually get an injury. But basically, if you really look at the video, and if you can slow the video down and draw the angles in with the computerized program, you can really look at what's happening. And also, when we show the people the results on the big TV, they can see it themselves.
John Fitzgerald runs about 25 to 30 miles every week. For him, the analysis is simply about learning to be more efficient and hopefully to help him avoid injury.
Well, I used to have some knee problems when I was running, and so they said that a lot of times I was running too much on my heels and maybe need to put the weight a little more forward, and so I started doing that, and it got to the point where I could only go like a mile or 2 before my knees would just start destroying me. So I knew I had to change something, and so trying to improve my form and get that better. Now I can run longer with less pain.
The 2 things why we're doing it is to prevent injury, first of all. Secondly, to maximize your potential as a runner. So you learn how to run more efficiently, more smoothly, and you're going to be a total happier runner and a smarter runner.
Jaco says the running program is a great tool for beginners so that they learn proper form before developing the bad habits. And for the competitive runner, it shows them exactly what happens when their foot hits the ground and how the force of every single stride affects everything, from their feet to their ankles, their knees, their hips, and their back. After seeing herself on tape, Kim says her running world opened up. If you need more information or, heaven forbid, you get injured, give Jaco a call. They're the ones to help you out. And that does it for this edition of Sports People Hawaii. As always, mahalo to the folks at Nike Golf for keeping us dry, fit, and cool. And until next time, everybody, take care of yourself, be healthy, enjoy the great outdoors, and we'll see you next time right here on Sports People Hawaii.